I'm David Toman, author of Nootropics Expert, and this YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what I think are the best over-the-counter and natural Adderall alternatives. And I think this is important because lately there are many having a difficult time trying to fill their ADHD prescriptions because of the shortages. And honestly, there's some real concern about the potential negative impact these potent stimulants may have on the developing brain in our young people. Sound good? Now, before we get started, please hit the subscribe button for my channel. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps YouTube know to suggest this channel to someone else who may need this information too. And hit the share button if you could, so that others can learn more about natural Adderall alternatives. So stay with me for a few minutes and I'll tell you more about what I have learned to be the best natural alternatives available today. Let's get started. Thousands of college students go to their health clinic asking for Adderall, or get it from an attention deficit hyperactivity or ADHD friend who's willing to part with a few tablets from their monthly prescription, because they feel like Adderall makes them more productive and it helps them stay up at night to study. At least that's what they've been told. And it turns out this stimulant drug will help you keep you awake. One of the many side effects of this amphetamine is insomnia. But a study drug? What is not commonly known is one of the reasons why sleep is so critical is that long-term memory is consolidated while you sleep. What you study during the day is consolidated and integrated into long-form memory during the short-wave stage of sleep. And if you don't get enough quality sleep, you suffer from poor memory. And you'll not be able to recall what you studied the night before for your exam the next day. But it's not just college kids. Athletes, executives in the military use stimulants like Adderall too, because they think that it makes them more productive. It improves reaction time. It improves fatigue so they can work harder and longer. But at what cost? Adderall is an amphetamine. It's a combo of 25% levoamphetamine salts and 75% dextroamphetamine salts. It rapidly crosses the blood-brain barrier and goes inside the presynaptic terminal of monoamine neurons. Once inside, Adderall interacts with trace amine-associated transporter 1, or TAAR1, and vesicular monoamine transporters, VMAT2, which reverses the direction of the transporters, forcing the release of dopamine and norepinephrine that was stored in synaptic vesicles and pushing it back out of the neuron, providing the stimulant effect that most are seeking when using Adderall. The problem is studies have demonstrated that amphetamines can be toxic to neurons because these drugs will eventually reduce levels of dopamine and norepinephrine and transporters in the brain, impair receptor function and dendrite growth. And this could explain why tolerance to Adderall becomes a problem, and why you need to use higher and higher doses of this drug to get the same effect. But many are becoming wise to the side effects of prescription stimulants like Adderall, and are looking for natural over-the-counter alternatives like MindLab Pro, which I use. Because unless you're clinically and truly ADD or ADHD, and realizing Adderall's benefit, the perceived short-term benefits to you, if you're not, are not worth the cost to your brain health. First, there's no such thing as a natural Adderall alternative. Anyone who tells you that or sells you that over-the-counter Adderall alternative is not being honest. And here's why. Recall that Adderall works by reversing the action of the monoamine transporters TAAR1 and VMAT2 and activating TAAR1 receptors, forcing dopamine and norepinephrine out of the synaptic vesicles and back out of the neuron. This action provides the stimulant effect of Adderall. There is no natural substance known to man that can exactly mimic this behavior. But what we can do with nootropics is increase levels of dopamine and norepinephrine naturally, And studies show that if higher doses of these nootropics are used, it will activate TAR1 receptors, which will contribute to a mood lift and better memory. And the addition of an acetylcholine precursor can make you more alert. Creating a stack of natural over-the-counter Adderall alternatives may be your best alternative. You get the benefit of being able to work longer and faster, and you avoid the potential Adderall side effects of brain cell toxicity, tolerance, addiction, abdominal pain, anorexia, constipation, dizziness, dry mouth, headache, insomnia, jitteriness, irritability, nausea, or palpitations, or the nasty withdrawal symptoms once you quit Adderall. I am adult ADD and have taken advantage of this mechanism of action with natural nootropics to support daily Ritalin use. In fact, not long after starting Nootropics Expert, I weaned off of Ritalin that I was using, and I tried this as an experiment. I used my ADHD nootropic stack for 1 year and was able to control my adult ADD symptoms using only natural stimulants. I've shared this natural way to control ADD and ADHD symptoms with tens of thousands of people since, and I know that this works. Now that's next. In this section, I'll briefly detail the ingredients of 3 pre-made natural nootropic stacks that can provide most of the benefits normally associated with Adderall, including reducing ADD and ADHD symptoms. Now, I've been using this first nootropic stack made by Performance Lab for the last couple of years on an as-needed basis. And it provides the temporary stimulant boost most are looking for when using Adderall, but without the negatives because it acts as a central nervous stimulant. If you routinely stop at Starbucks for a grande, or the corner store for an energy drink, or use Adderall for its stimulant boost, this natural nootropic stimulant stack called Performance Lab Caffeine Plus may be a great alternative for you. And this is how it works. It contains 50 milligrams of natural caffeine from coffee robusta seeds. Caffeine acts by blocking adenosine receptor subtypes A1 and A2A, which in turn increases wakefulness. Instead of becoming sleepy, you become more alert. But caffeine also influences acetylcholine, epinephrine, serotonin, and it boosts dopamine use, which also contributes to its stimulant effect. Caffeine also activates the release of excess cortisol. It restricts blood flow, and it depletes water-soluble B vitamins. So the rest of this stack counteracts the negatives associated with caffeine use. It contains 100 milligrams of L-Theanine because L-Theanine increases alpha brainwaves, which promotes alert relaxation. It promotes serotonin, dopamine, GABA, and brain-derived nootropic factor, or BDNF, in your brain. And L-Theanine helps relieve the stress of excess cortisol, all counteracting many of the negatives of caffeine use. It also contains 250 milligrams of L-Tyrosine. Caffeine's stimulant effect is produced in part by increases in release of the catecholamines dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine. Releasing these neurotransmitters into the extracellular space is similar to how Adderall works. But this demand on increased catecholamines can result in attention problems, mood imbalances, energy crashes, and long-term feelings of exhaustion. The addition of L-Tyrosine in this stim formula helps replace the neurotransmitters that are impacted by caffeine use, resulting in better working memory, quicker thinking, even under pressure, a boost in multitasking performance, stress resistance, and no crash. Caffeine consumption causes a diuretic effect, which accelerates the excretion of vitamin B2 or riboflavin, vitamin B6 or peroxidine, P5P, vitamin B9 or methylfolate, and vitamin B12 or methylcobalamin. Including these B vitamins in this stimulant stack counterbalances this vitamin depletion caused by caffeine use. If you use Adderall for the stimulant boost, you may want to try this natural alternative instead. It's safer, it can be used whenever you need an energy boost, and it's effective. See my video on the Performance Lab Caffeine Plus. I've got a review on this channel. Or get and try Performance Lab Caffeine Plus. You'll find a link to this supplement in the notes section of this video down below. If you had all the brain energy you needed and zero mental fatigue, it's unlikely you'd be using Adderall. That's what this next natural nootropic stack helps you do. Performance Lab Mind helps increase brain energy, it reduces mental fatigue, and it does it by supporting the thousands of mitochondria you have in each one of your brain cells, and by boosting cerebral blood flow. Mind supports neurogenesis by increasing the density of neurons and synapses. It increases the neuroplasticity required for learning and memory and overall brain function. And Performance Lab Mind enhances focus, reaction time, and brain processing speed and memory by boosting brain energy. Critical neurotransmitters and hormones depleted by stress. And here's how it works. It contains 250 milligrams of Citicoline or CDP-choline. Citicoline or CDP-choline provides the choline required for acetylcholine synthesis, the neurotransmitter involved in brain cell signaling needed for quick thinking, learning, memory, and recall. And once Citicoline crosses your blood-brain barrier, it converts to uridine, which is used in the synthesis of phosphatidylcholine. Phosphatidylcholine, or PC for short, is used to repair and rebuild brain cell membranes, keeping membranes fluid for better signaling needed for attention, quicker reaction time, learning and memory, cognition, and recall. Citicoline has been shown to increase adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, which is the fuel source generated in mitochondria, and it supplies energy to brain cells. And the choline found in Performance Lab Mind has been shown in research to boost brain cell membrane formation by 26% and brain energy by 13.6% in healthy adults. It also contains phosphatidylserine, or PS for short, which is a phospholipid component of the membrane encasing nearly every one of your cells. Phosphatidylserine promotes nerve growth factor for neurogenesis, neuroplasticity, and neuron repair and maintenance. And studies show that the phospholipid content, including phosphatidylserine, begins to decline as early as age 20, and this decline becomes more pronounced as you get older. Phosphatidylserine is arguably one of the most effective and important nootropics we have available today. Phosphatidylserine keeps our brain cells healthy, and it has a reputation for improving alertness, attention, cognition, memory, recall, and mood. It also contains L-Tyrosine, which is used in your brain to produce dopamine, and the neurotransmitters norepinephrine and epinephrine, which is your fight-or-flight response. The same neurotransmitter is released when using Adderall. L-Tyrosine helps restore these catecholamines when you are sleep-deprived, or dealing with extreme stressors like heat or cold, intense business negotiations, or exams, or even war zones. L-Tyrosine enhances working memory and executive function in the prefrontal cortex. It helps with creative flow states, is fuel for inspiration, cognitive flexibility, and the kind of convergent thinking you do in multiple choice exams. It's a safe way to boost dopamine and norepinephrine while avoiding the negative side effects by doing the same with Adderall. It also contains pine bark extract, which helps increase cerebral circulation or more blood flow in your brain, providing the nutrients and oxygen that you need for energy-hungry brain cells. Pine bark extract also helps prevent decreases in dopamine and norepinephrine, and the glutathione and GSH disulfide reductase ratio, neurotransmitter problems which contribute to hyperactivity, and is treated with Adderall normally. Studies show that pine bark extract significantly boosts blood flow even in healthy young adults, and it has a remarkable effect on memory, focus, decision-making, and mood. And Performance Lab Mind is a long-term solution for bringing your brain up to speed and keeping it there, so you'll not be tempted to resort to a synthetic stimulant like Adderall. And Mind is particularly effective when supported by a high-quality bioidentical multivitamin like the Performance Lab NutriGenesis Multi that I recommend. And when you need that extra energy boost, take a capsule of Performance Lab Caffeine Plus. So see my video review on this channel for the Performance Lab Mind supplement on this channel. If you want to try Performance Lab Mind and or Performance Lab, the NutriGenesis Multi for men or women, you'll find links to these supplements down in the notes section below this video. I've been using MindLab Pro every day for the last 6 years, and it's still my favorite natural Adderall substitute. MindLab Pro is formulated to support all brain functions and pathways. 11 multitasking nootropics in this formula at clinically proven dosages may be all you need. This stack supports brain energy, neurotransmitters, blood flow, and brain waves, and it provides neuroprotection while regenerating what's been lost or damaged. Just 2 capsules of this nootropic supplement every day for a month or 2, and you may find that you no longer need or want to use a short-acting stimulant like Adderall. Earlier in this video, I mentioned how I used only my nootropic stack, including MindLab Pro, with no prescription stimulants for 1 year, and kept my adult ADHD symptoms under control. Now, the genius of this combination of ingredients and their synergy is how it works so well, and has become the industry standard that others envy and have not yet matched. Now, these are the nootropic ingredients that make it work to improve brain health. And I've already detailed how each one of these works earlier in this video. It contains 250 milligrams of Citicoline. So to remember how Citicoline works in your brain, refer back to the ingredients in Performance Lab Mind that I talked about earlier. It also contains Phosphatidylserine, which works in your brain similar to the Phosphatidylserine I talked about for Performance Lab Mind earlier. MindLab Pro also contains 775 milligrams of N-Acetyl L-Tyrosine, which is a bioactive form of L-Tyrosine. I talked about L-Tyrosine earlier in this video, how it supports dopamine and norepinephrine in your brain. MindLab Pro also contains 100 milligrams of L-Theanine, which I talked about earlier when I was talking about Performance Lab Caffeine. And MindLab Pro also contains 75 milligrams of pine bark extract that's 95% pro-L-Theanines. And I talked about pine bark extract earlier in this video. And these next 6 ingredients are what makes MindLab Pro the best universal nootropic stack on the planet, and why 2 capsules per day of this stack may be all you need as a natural Adderall alternative. But it does so much more than that. It contains 150 milligrams of Bacopa Monnieri with 24% bacosides. Bacopa Monnieri's active bacosides improves brain cell signaling, and it helps restore damaged neurons and synapses. And Bacopa acts as an anxiolytic by reducing free radicals and oxidative stress while reducing cortisol. Studies show that Bacopa Monnieri improves recall, attention, speed of information processing, and memory, all while reducing anxiety. And its effects seem to keep working even after you stop using Bacopa Monnieri. MindLab Pro contains 500 milligrams of lion's mane mushroom. Lion's mane mushroom's active ingredients boost nerve growth factor, which stimulates neuron regeneration and neurite outgrowth. This increase in neuroplasticity helps boost mood, mental energy, it increases depth perception and sense of smell, and improves decision-making ability and concentration. MindLab Pro also contains 50 milligrams of Rhodiola Rosea. Rhodiola Rosea promotes the proliferation and differentiation of neural stem cells in your hippocampus. Restoring injured neurons helps fight cognitive decline and memory loss. And rhodiola influences levels of dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, and beta endorphins, which provides a remarkable antidepressive and anti-anxiety benefit. It's shown to be as good as many prescription pharmaceuticals in treating depression and anxiety. MindLab Pro contains the bioidentical NutriGenesis form of these critical B vitamins. This combo reduces homocysteine levels, which ensures good brain blood flow and healthy brain chemistry. Vitamin B6, B9, and B12 are required cofactors for neurotransmitter synthesis and myelin formation and repair, and it's required for red blood cell formation, optimal brain energy metabolism, gene expression, and brain cell signaling. Including these important B vitamins ensures the rest of this nootropic stack in MindLab Pro works to provide their full benefit. And see my video on this channel for MindLab Pro. If you want to try it, I provided a link for it down below in the notes section. If your aim is to find the best over-the-counter Adderall alternative, the 3 nootropic stacks detailed in this video above should help. Near the beginning of this video, I told you about my experiment, and I'm adult ADD, and I've been using Ritalin for the last 17 or 18 years. My experiment was a holiday from Ritalin, and I used only MindLab Pro with the other natural nootropic supplements I talked about in this video. My stack was tailored to my symptoms, and was successful in keeping my ADD symptoms under control without the use of stimulants to improve cognitive function. Now, many thousands in the nootropics expert community have followed the same advice and are successfully using natural nootropic supplements instead of prescription stimulants. Both those with ADD or ADHD and others who wish to avoid the negatives and side effects associated with prescription stimulants. Choose either MindLab Pro or Performance Lab Mind, and use Performance Lab Caffeine Plus when you want an extra temporary energy boost. MindLab Pro and the Performance Lab line of supplements stand behind their product and offer a generous money-back guarantee if you're not satisfied, even if after using their product for a month. Now, if you're honestly looking for an Adderall alternative, I encourage you to try these supplements for better cognitive performance, and there's no risk in trying natural, over-the-counter Adderall substitutes or alternatives. And you may have found exactly what you're looking for, just like tens of thousands of others from nearly every country on the planet Earth. So that's my report on the best Adderall natural alternatives. If you want to see links to the studies I talked about, go to nootropicsexpert.com and search for Adderall alternatives. Or click on the link in the notes section down below this video. Once you're at my website, you'll find a full transcript for this video. And you'll also find dozens of articles on all the well-known nootropics over on Nootropics Expert. And if you haven't already, download your free copy of Secrets of the Optimized Brain. It's nearly 100 pages and it contains details on 92 of the most popular nootropics used today. And my 4-time award-winning book, the second edition of Head First, the complete guide to healing and optimizing your brain with nootropic supplements, is currently out of stock. I'm searching for a new publisher, so please stay tuned, and thanks for your patience as I work to get Head First stocked again soon on bookstores worldwide. And if you could use some personal help choosing the right nootropics or figuring out how to deal with your own brain health issues, consider booking a personal consultation with me. You'll find a link to my calendar down below in the notes section below this video. And if you want to see more videos on all the best nootropics used today, subscribe to this channel before you leave. It's free, and I'll be putting up new videos on nootropics and optimizing your brain every week. I'm David Toman, author of Nootropics Expert.